resolution in the United Nations because it recognized the important role of women in resolving conflicts, in mediation, as well as in post-conflict resolution. How did the Philippines figure in this 1325? Luckily, we had a government in the last government. I'm not referring to the present government. We have a big problem with our present government. The last government was very encouraging in terms of opening the spaces for women's participation. And why is that? Because there is a very vibrant and strong women's movement. You know, women cannot attain have these achievements without a movement. You know? No one woman, even the most brilliant women, can achieve all these victories for women. It has got to be a collective action of women. So the first one was for us to always be prepared to have a list of capable, intelligent women to take over leadership. So as the National Commission on Women Chair, I did that during my term. So who says that women are not qualified? So what we did was to collect all the biodata of all the women. So if there's a vacancy, women were always there to assume leadership. That's one. The second is the government itself had a policy of including women in leadership positions. In the Senate, now we have, how many women in the Senate? We have the Supreme Court Justice as women. We also have the Secretary of Higher Education. We have had previously Labor Secretary, Justice Secretary. So for women to have those kinds of leadership, women has got to fight for them. Okay, now in 1325 was immediately approved by the government with the participation of the vibrant women's peace movement. Of course, even if the government is friendly, I tell you, no democratic government can last. Yeah, sometimes democratic government becomes authoritarian the next day. So I think what we are doing is just right. Civil society always have to be prepared. When there is open space for NGO participation, especially when there is no space for participation. So this space allowed us to work with government, and 1325 with a national action plan was developed in the Philippines over, I think, over about 1 year. Okay, so we have those guidelines from government, which allowed. So we have a network called. This is We Act. No, We Act 1325. It's composed of about 50 organizations, including my own network. Our network is called Women's Peace Collective. So what do we do? How did we? What were some of our activities? Well, the first one was, of course, to familiarize everyone about 1325, meaning our first target were the military. Okay, so we did a lot of discussion with the military, including our peacekeeping forces. So I would lecture and I would explain 1325 to about 200 guys in the barracks for them to understand that this should be their education on women and peace. Second of all, many of us also went down to the all the local governments, not just in the conflict area. So this is important. It's important to raise the consciousness of people in the local governments, but it's even more important to educate people who are not in conflict areas, because we are connected. No? So if we only address the conflict areas, the people will not mind. Anyway, we are not affected. No, we are all affected whenever there is war somewhere in our territory. We also work with schools. So, you know, in schools, you cannot expect the students to listen to our lecture. So what we did was for them to do a dance for peace. So thousands of students will dance with the message of peace. So that they like very much. No? So this is all being done in schools. We also targeted the media, because the media normally do not care about news, they don't do research. So what we did was to give them materials for radio, for newspapers, for them to have the facts and figures, and for them to also promote peace through the media. And then, very, very important, because we're dealing with the war in Mindanao, we also involve the business sector. The business sector is important because they are the ones who will help uplift the community in the post-conflict period. And of course, the last is the interfaith dialogue. The root of war is intolerance. The root of war is indifference, and the root of war is abuse. So all of these sometimes are justified through religious beliefs. And in the Philippines, the Muslims are always demonized. They're always demeaned. They're disrespected. So we came together, all of the faiths, Protestants, Buddhists, Catholics, Muslims, and this interfaith dialogue is a continuing one, because the prejudice continues. No? It's not very easy to remove biases and prejudices. We will soon have Muslims who will talk about gender, human rights, and Islam, no? Because we all know that there are elements in Sharia that are very oppressive to women, and we have to go beyond that. So we have to struggle not only to mobilize but to address our differences. So this is very important. I think I'm lucky.